Chapter 8, The New Human. Open quote. Meditating is also a means for you to move beyond your analytical mind so that you can access your subconscious mind. That's crucial since the subconscious is where all your bad habits and behaviors that you want to change reside. End quote. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Many years ago, I had an episode of vertigo while working as an engineer. Vertigo is basically a condition where you get these terrible dizzy spells. It's an imbalance in your nervous system. You can't eat, you can't drive, you can't do very much of anything at all. During this one episode of vertigo, I went to drive somewhere and I almost crashed my car. I had to go back to the house, park the car in the garage, and lay down on my bed. When I walked inside the house, I ended up vomiting from too much movement. I couldn't do much of anything for an entire month. I even had to take time off work. Vertigo can be severe, but it's not commonly understood why people get it and how to treat it. I've had dozens of these dizzy spells for my entire life, from around my mid-20s until just a few years ago. The last time I had vertigo was Christmas 2019. I had been eating quite a bit of gluten and eggs, which is normal for me at that time of year because I love pastries and cookies. When I eat eggs or gluten, I often get a stuffy nose or congestion. This can happen within hours of eating, but sometimes it shows up the next day as well. And in some cases, these mild symptoms can lead to full-blown vertigo. On the Thursday after Christmas of 2019, I decided to go for a 3-mile run. It was the holidays and I hadn't been eating the best, so I decided to take it easy. I'm not going to push myself. I thought to myself, just have a nice run to get some fresh air and some exercise. The following day was Friday. I woke up congested, so I took the rest of the day off. When I woke up on Saturday morning, I had full-blown vertigo. I started to panic. I could feel the imbalance right away. It was like a 9 out of 10, 10 being the worst I've ever had. I felt like I drank an entire case of beer, even though I hadn't had any alcohol for at least a week. I laid back down. I was pretty upset with myself because this had happened before from indulging in baked goods. I couldn't drive. I could barely walk. Eating was out of the question. I could barely drink water. So what's the first thing I do? I went to the old human. I had anxiety. I was upset. I was frustrated at myself more than anything because I was thinking, why am I getting sick? I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be energetic. I wanted to be full of life. I went to my wife, who was a wealth of information on alternative health. She recommended that I start drinking celery juice. Her rationale was that these pathogens feed off gluten and eggs that I was consuming. You eliminate the food source for these pathogens and you eliminate the pathogens. As the viruses die off, my health and well-being would return back to normal. Now, there's not a lot of science to back up her claim, but I trust her and the tens of thousands of people who have healed their illness using this process. So I was all in. We started with 2 glasses of celery juice that morning. I could barely get it down. I was totally out of balance. It was intense, but I drank the juice and I went from a 9 out of 10 dizziness to about an 8 out of 10. There was a bit of improvement, but not much. I was still frustrated. Later that afternoon and that evening, the new human kicked in. I saw some of my old self-help books on a bookshelf, and I reminded myself that I'd been here before. I'd been sick and feeling miserable before. I remember feeling frustrated, but also that I could heal my body at any time. I remembered who I am. I remembered that I have the power to heal my body at any time I choose. I have free will. I can think and create whatever I want. I can heal instantly if that's my wish. You see, I forgot who I was. I forgot that all I had to do was go inside and generate a new state of being. That I have the power to do this. We all do. It's standard equipment for the new human. So that night, as I was lying in bed with everything spinning around me, I started to imagine. I started to dream. I started to feel as if I was healed. Now, physically, I still felt this imbalance, but I was focusing as much as I could on the new image, the new state of being. I imagined that I was running. I felt like I was playing hockey and doing the things that I love to do. I felt healthy and fit. I focused my intent on that image and what it feels like to be that person. Again, next morning, I still had vertigo, an 8 out of 10. I wasn't healed, but I did my meditation anyway. I got into the deep trance where I am beyond the analytical mind and just feeling my body totally healed. I must have been in that meditation for at least an hour. I got up from my meditation, still in that deep trance and feeling good. I had this energy and this knowing that I was totally healed. I expected to heal because I could see myself healed. I finished my meditation with this knowing that all is well. When I finished my meditation, I then went through the protocol. My wife had made me 32 ounces of celery juice that morning. I drank the juice. The vertigo was still there at about an 8 out of 10 when I started. I was still dizzy as hell. It was intense, but I knew I was going to heal, and I drank the juice. It took me almost an hour to drink that celery juice. 2 glasses of juice, but then something miraculous happened. Within an hour, the dizziness started to subside. I started to feel like myself again. 1 hour after drinking that celery juice, the intensity of that vertigo fell from an 8 out of 10 to a 2 out of 10. The process had worked. I was starting to feel normal again. All I could say was, wow, and I started to cry. 2 days later, I went for another run, and I was totally fine. I haven't had vertigo since. I now know exactly what I need to do. I can heal myself, and you can too. You are that powerful. That's the new human. That's what's possible for you. That's what is possible for all of humanity. We can heal quickly. You have the tools to do it. Open quote. I know that you have been chosen to come to this place and to get here, Earth, because it's like entering the Olympics. It's like getting on the Olympic team. You have made it to the opportunity to this dimension and this planet that we call the human experience. End quote. Dannion Brinkley, Beyond Belief with George Norrie. Becoming the new human. The new human is much different and much smarter than the old way of being or the old human. The new human is a creative creature. The new human uses advanced technology in the human body to create. If you're reading this book, you're on your way to becoming a new human. Thanks for listening to this free sample of the 7-day manifestation experiment, how you can create the life of your dreams. If you'd like to order the book, you can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or on Audible in the description in the links below. Thanks again for listening. My name's Steve, and we'll talk to you next time.